to NBA Countdown, presented by Lilly.
We expect more from ourselves. We're a better team.
I don't think they should be considered the title favorites right now.
We're trying to get to the finals and win the finals.
Cade has been brilliant yet again.
They're the most dangerous team in the Eastern Conference.
I feel like I'm the best two-way player in the world.
Jaylen Brown is unstoppable.
Denver has a man playing at the absolute peak of his powers.
There's no resting here in this room, my friend.
Could one of the teams playing on ESPN tonight be holding the Larry O'Brien at the end of the season?
I know a walk in the man that's ready to move some furniture when I see it.
Cade Cunningham and the Pistons already put the league on notice, Perk. They host the shorthanded defending champs. Detroit has a chance to take a giant leap towards locking up home court.
Blue.
That doesn't count out the teams, though, squaring off in our nightcap. Take a look. The Nuggets, the Celtics, they were the last two teams, of course, before Oklahoma City to raise the banner, and they have their sights set on doing so again. 4 of the 6 squads that have the best title odds, they are playing on ESPN tonight. So no time to waste here, friends. Let's get out and run and take a look at how exactly they can make that happen. Why don't we start with the favorites, shall we? Why can the Thunder, Perk, be the first team to repeat since the 2018 Warriors?
Because as you can see after the All-Star break, Malika, 3 straight wins, getting their feet hot. They don't have SGA, no J-Dub. The guys been out of the rotation, but other guys step up because they have the championship experience, but they also have guys that are underrated for us being offensively being able to get buckets on their own.
Yeah, it certainly seems like no matter who is in uniform, they're going to play hard. But the best odds to dethrone the champs, that belongs to the 3-time MVP, Nikola Jokic, the Nuggets. Wendy, why do you have mile-high expectations for Denver?
This team earlier this season, before they had these injuries, they were absolutely rolling. I think they love their chances with this roster if it's healthy, because Nikola Jokic was having the best season of his career earlier this year. That knee injury has set him back a little bit, but there's no reason why this team can't recapture that in time for the playoffs.
Okay, but how about out east? Nobody, Perk, has a better title odds than the Boston Celtics. Do you believe, share voice, in Boston?
You're damn right I do, and part of me is being biased, but the other part is keeping it real. Look, this team has the most championship experience in the Eastern Conference. When you look at their core guys, look at their coach and Coach Mazzulla, they play hard on both ends of the floor. They have that unique offense that is still unpredictable and hard to stop, and is led by Jaylen Brown.
And then there are the Pistons. They're winners of 8 of their last 10. Detroit had that 4.5-game lead in the East. They have a chance to take back ownership of the best record in the NBA with a win tonight against OKC. And this Pistons team, they're having their best season in years. We know that. But take a look at the numbers that they're putting up, because they're not just great for this year. They're historic. This year's Pistons squad has the highest point differential in franchise history. And yes, that means it's better than any of the 3 championship seasons that we have seen Detroit have. And Wendy, I don't know that when we were coming into the season, anyone had this game tonight circled as a battle of the best records in the NBA. And yet here we are. How is Detroit in this position?
Well, they've had this whole week circled for a while because they had a series of tests. First, they played the Knicks last week in the Garden, slapped them around. Then they get the Spurs earlier this week on Monday.
Yep.
Ooh, reality check.
Couldn't quite get
hands
there.
off, hands off. So tonight they get the Thunder. Friday, Cavs come into the Motor City.
Yep.
So they are testing themselves right now. I know they've been sitting in first place. Did you see those odds, though, Perk? Vegas doesn't believe in them. And after on Monday, you know, some people may question, Cade had the worst game of the season in that premium game. They're going to want to get back onto the winning ways, because one thing about Detroit, whoever they play, I know how they're going to play. I know they're going to defend. I know they're going to rebound, and they're going to give the ball to that dude right there and try to bring him home.
Well, the great thing about it is that the San Antonio Spurs is not in the Eastern Conference. I still got the Detroit Pistons picked to win the Eastern
Wait a minute, I
Conference.
just heard you talk all about the Celtics.
No. But I didn't say I had them favored. I just gave them some flowers. You know, it's okay. Valentine's just passed. I could give out some flowers. I didn't give you yours yet.
Okay, I was going to give my discount.
Malika. But here's the thing. They got one of the best young leaders in the game, Cade Cunningham. And when I think about young leaders, I think about what is he doing to make guys around him better. It's so many games that I could count throughout the course of the season where Cade Cunningham has went out into the game, and I'm thinking, oh, he's going to have 30 tonight. He finished with 16, but he'll finish with 13 assists or 11 assists.
Right.
He understands the assignment. The assignment is, I could go get mine, but in order for me to get to where we're trying to go, where I'm trying to go and get this team to the promised land, I need the others. That's the reason why him and Jalen Duren is one of the best pick-and-roll combos in the game today. Because Cade understands as a young guy, you don't see that often at this age.
Well, I think about the Pistons, Malik. It reminds me of the Thunder a couple of years ago. I remember vividly Sam Presti, Thunder's president. They had this team that they were, they were contending maybe to do something. And I remember Presti said, "We got to finish our breakfast."
Park remembers
was
too.
a way of saying, "Hey, let's let these young guys prove themselves." I don't think the Pistons are on breakfast, but they may only be on brunch, and that's what we were reminded of a little bit on Monday. They didn't bring the requisite physicality and the focus they needed to on Monday.
What are the hours of a brunch? Are we saying like 10 to 2 is a brunch, or can a brunch start? Okay.
Last year the Thunder had their dinner and their desserts. They haven't made reservations yet in Detroit, so but I know they think they have. But I'm not sure that they're ready for that.
So y'all know what the SAT test is, right?
What score did you get?
Well, first of all,
What was your score?
So you could take it as many times as you need in order to pass.
I did not know that. I just did
No, so I took it 3 times. Because I failed it the first 2 times. That's the way I look at it when I look at the Detroit Pistons and what happened with the San Antonio Spurs. There was a test, they failed. Now, all of a sudden, with Cade Cunningham, here comes another test. You're going to have those tests throughout the course of the season.
Yeah.
The thing is, are you going to go back to the film room? Or are you going to go do your homework? I believe that they are. I believe he's going to show that tonight because they're playing the similar personnel when it comes to the big wings and big guards that are going to get up into you. So I'm interested to see the adjustments that they actually make to get Cade easier looks and, to get him
It's
going.
a great showcase situation because they obviously have that game on Monday. It doesn't go the way they want. They get national television tonight. They get national television on Friday. They get to send the message. And by the way, it's also to themselves. I know that they look like and they play like they have a lot of belief in themselves. But when you're doing it for the first time, Perk, you know how it goes. You got to prove it to yourself.
Well, I'm going to tell you this real quick. When you get 3 back-to-back national televised games, that means you arrived.
Yeah, and it happens when you're the best story in the NBA. That means
NBA, where the Knicks lost to the Cavs by 15 last night. Cleveland and New York are now tied for 3rd in the Eastern Conference, but the Cavs do have an issue. James Harden fractured his right thumb, but Shams Charania reports that he plans to play through that pain. So although the odds are tight, the Knicks have the longest odds to win the conference among the top 4 teams in the East. New York notably hasn't reached the finals since 1999 when Jalen Brunson's dad, Rick Brunson, was on the team. Do you remember what Detroit basketball has been like the last 4 seasons? Well, they were bad enough for Cade Cunningham, the #1 overall pick in 2021, to land there. They won 23 games his rookie season, then 17, then 14, plus a 28-game losing streak. It seemed like things were really spiraling in the wrong direction, but something clicked. And now, all of a sudden, they're the #1 team in the Eastern Conference. Justin Tinsley takes us on the journey.
A rival is boisterous. It lives on SportsCenter, evolves on algorithms, and if you're lucky, elevates into rafters. Right now, one name has Motor City running on a full tank.
On the move, Cade down. Oh! Dunked it!
That was a
This place is buzzing.
If you know ball, Cade Cunningham isn't a surprise. And the Detroit Pistons aren't a feel-good story. They're not just atop the Eastern Conference. The record they're chasing in February, best in the league, might matter a whole lot in June.
The Detroit Pistons are the best team in the Eastern Conference, #1.
The Pistons of 2026 are night and day from the team Cade inherited in 2021. A franchise rich and rugged in history now has direction again. You don't just watch Detroit basketball. Every elbow, every stare down, every confrontation. You feel Detroit basketball. Flash without fearlessness can't survive here. Cade plays like this responsibility isn't a burden. It's a gift.
Flips the defense, goes to the and threw it down with the left hand. Oh.
We're months away from the ultimate test, the postseason, where these Pistons still have demons to exercise. where reputations are cemented or cracked. The regular season earns respect. The playoffs demand proof. The Pistons aren't legendary by name only. Championships, Hall of Famers, the only franchise to eliminate Magic, Larry, and Michael in the postseason. The franchise that divorced Shaq and Kobe. But here's what lingers. No Piston has ever won league MVP. Not Dave Bing, not Isaiah Thomas, not Grant Hill. Cade has the pedigree to change that.
Cade Cunningham is a superstar. They have one in the Motor City. They have one in Motown.
That's the beauty and the beast of youth. Time feels infinite. Windows have no locks. Until the league counters and expectations harden. Until opportunities stop returning calls. All that matters right now is right now. Detroit has something real. A team that believes, a city that demands, and a star who looks ready to score his own soundtrack for Motown. Cade Cunningham has arrived. Now comes the hardest part, staying there.
And here he is literally arriving, Cade Cunningham, ahead of his game against the Thunder tonight. He scores or assists on over 48 points per game.